Hello, welcome to another episode of whatever we're talking about. And it's about differences between men and women. Should be very interesting conversation since there's a lot of differences. Uh, yeah.
Okay, so the reason we're discussing this is because last episode we went on a tangent about um, support and how sometimes there's sometimes you can give 0.3% and I have to give 99.7%. And sometimes I can give 0.3% and you have to do the opposite.
Yeah, but the support and supporting your partner and uh, being able to understand what that need is. But
Okay.
I think that comes down to like if you're in a relationship and you're in a relationship with a male or female, just in my experience, uh, there's a lot of guys that think because they're males that they have to always control everything and or like always have an answer or always um, have that have everything under control. And first of all, life just doesn't allow for that. And second, there's no way that you can always have an answer, regardless of what you are. For the most part, I have a lot of answers. I know a lot about a lot, but I don't always have an answer. Even when I don't have an answer, I'm like, okay, I don't know, but we're gonna figure it out because I don't know. I'm not. There's some things I'm just not able to. I don't have the knowledge for, or I don't. Let's just be honest. Some shit I just don't care about. So I don't. I don't have anything for it. But when I do need that support, and in those situations where I'm like, okay, I don't know, but we're gonna figure it out. These are these times I need that support, where you may have an answer, or you may have a better way of finding the information, or just have any way of finding information that we need, and we can come together and figure out what the best next course of action would be. But just people out there that don't have that. Men have those thoughts and feelings a lot of times because of whatever their reasons. It could be how they grew up. It could be just a thought that they have. It could be society gave them that idea. I don't know. Whatever their situation is. But then there's women. There's women that want to be led but don't know how to follow. And also, if you can't, if you don't know how to listen and being able to listen, meaning what does your partner need? What does what is the situation right now? Does your partner have an actual answer for this? Are you listening enough to be able to hear that your partner needs help? There's a lot of women always claim that they listen. And I feel like women are usually the worst listeners in the world because you don't care about women say that they care about what you're going through or what you're stressed out about or whatever. But what it really comes down to is how does that stress affect me? Me being the women, like how does that stress affect that woman? Is he going to be mean to me now because he's stressed out? Well, you got options. Like, are you gonna make this stress easier for me? Or are you gonna make this shit harder for me? Because you make it harder for me, yeah, I'm gonna be mean to you because you're pissing me off even more. Than I'm already stressed out. So like, if you're unable to listen when your partner clearly needs help and when they're saying that they need help, or just ask, do you need help or are you okay, or Is this something that we need to deal with together? Is this, whatever? You can word it however you want to, but see what your partner is going through to see if they need your help or want your help. Maybe they don't really need your help. Maybe they just want to work on something together with you to feel like they're doing something with you. Whatever. But it seems to me that the lack of ability to communicate between men and women becomes difficult because of several different reasons. But power, ego, uh, you know, people, especially men, think being dominant is just controlling everything, and that's not at all. The best way you can be dominant and show your power is to delegate and to show the people that you're leading that you are not perfect and you need help sometimes. And those people that you're leading will follow you and they will help you and they will continue to follow you because they know you're a real person. You're one of them, usually. But on the other hand, women have this ability to women have the ability to be as destructive and fragile as they can possibly be. Uh, at a moment, in moments where the help is needed, if she could take herself out of her own ego and her own head and help the scenario. And the same goes for a man. You got to be able to take yourself out of your own ego to be able to help a situation versus make it worse. Because two people yelling at each other, nobody's listening to anything. By that point, I don't want to hear shit you got to say anyway. I'd rather be doing anything. I'd rather be watching rocks move or something. I don't know. Like,
Okay, Christoph.
like for real. I'd rather be doing anything other than looking at you. So, it just. There's so many differences that could be fixed. Could be better, I guess. Maybe not fixed, but could get better, I guess.
I feel like a large portion of the issue, in my experience at least, is that women go to their partner and expect them to have an answer, and then when they don't have an answer, instantaneously go into, woe is me, the world is over.
But that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't help at all. But what I'm saying is that in my experience, there's a lot of women that do that. There's a lot of women that they go and they say, okay, I don't have a solution for this. Do you have a solution for this? And then you don't have a solution, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, it's over. And I feel like that inability to adjust is a significant issue, because a lot of relationship is not just that communication, but that ability to adjust to each other. And okay, you're telling me, hey, I don't have an answer, and if I can't adjust and say, all right, let's find an answer, or then that inflexibility, that rigidity is a problem. Because if you immediately go into, okay, I'm going to shut down, there's no answer, it's over. There's no answer. That leads nowhere. Because now you're upset because you've said, okay, I don't have an answer. The other person is upset because they're like, well, I didn't have an answer and I expected them to have an answer, and now if they don't have an answer, then what do? This is a whole spiral. This is world ending. This is, oh my god. But then there's a lot of women that anytime something doesn't go according to their plan at all, the world is over.
Oh yeah, definitely so.
Like, they have this plan set in their head, and if it doesn't go exactly that way,
no flexibility at all.
It's a problem.
That is very infuriating to me. Like, I can't. There's so many things that we've done so many different ways. Like, it doesn't have to be done one specific way.
Now, something that we've had to adjust to is that I like to have a plan going in. I recognize that this may not be exactly how this works out. I recognize that, hey, we might have to adjust it along the way. But I like to know in my head, all right, this is what we plan to do. Like, this is the end goal. This is how we propose to achieve that.
Sometimes there is no plan, though.
And I get that. And I've had to adjust to that. But you've also adjusted very well, I think, to creating that plan to start with me.
It's because you're able to, because you can understand that we need to adjust in motion. Not whatever the plan is going to just work, and there's no room for error, there's no room for adjustment. And now because it went astray, now I'm going to break down and cry in the middle of the floor for the next 3 hours, and then woe is me forever, and it's a problem. I can't handle that type of shit. I need you to be like, we need to adjust as the situation is evolving in front of us, and move from there. Sometimes it's not time for the world is over. Sometimes it's not time for the tears. It's not time for you to be in the middle of the floor. Okay, I'm gonna leave you there and go continue doing what we need to be doing. Like, I'm not saying that's the best way, but even that still creates issues. So but you understand that we can adjust. So, that's why I'm able to give you a predictive plan, like a base plan. Most times, but
That's all it is most of the time. But, I need that to get started. And you recognize that that's a need of mine, and I recognize that a need of yours is to have that flexibility, and I'm okay with that.
There's nothing ever goes to plan.
And that's okay. But I needed just a visual of, okay,
not much ever just works the way we want it to work. So
yeah, and that's very, very true. And then there's sometimes that when stuff doesn't work the way that we set it out, that I have that breakdown, but I feel like I can come to you and say, hey, listen, I need a minute to let this the fuck out. I need a minute to just, the world is over for 5 minutes, okay? I will come back to rebuilding it in a minute.
Most times, though, if things don't go the way we plan, I already had something working in the background for it. Anyway, usually, most times. Sometimes not. Sometimes I'm just hoping shit works. But
right, but like I was saying, there's times that I'm just like, all right, I need a minute for the world to be over, and I'll be back to you in just a second. And I feel like you're very good about giving me that couple of minutes for the world to be over, as long as I'm okay after that couple of minutes.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with having that emotion and having that like breakdown sometimes, the difference between those who are stuck and those who are still and stagnant and those who flow and keep things moving is that get back.
Yeah, but that's what makes things so hard for not a lot of men, but I would say some men, because we usually think very pragmatically. We tend to usually think about what's there in front of us and what needs to happen. And we tend to be fixers and like, okay, what can we do? What do we? Because the emotion doesn't mean anything at this point. Like it does, yeah, be upset, but and women tend to usually be very emotional with things, and it's like, okay, I don't really care about emotion right now because it's not doing anything for us. Why are you crying? Fucking stop. Like, it's like, what? I need your help here. I don't need these tears. I don't need these. What you're doing right now is nothing. Like, this is a waste of energy right now. You could be thinking about something, but instead, I'm like, I gotta try and console you about some shit we knew was already in motion and like that we need to be working out. And it's like, okay. Granted, not to say that I don't want to do those things. It's just in that moment, it's like, okay, I'm already like damn near on an overload here, and you are adding to it with this, right? Like, it makes me sound fucked up, but I mean, it's not. It's the truth, man. It's the truth. Like, no, I don't. And it's not just me. It's other men too. It's like I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you have emotions and that you deal with things how you deal with them. It's just it can become an issue when it gets to those extreme levels. Like when it gets to those, like, okay, you take 5 minutes, okay, cool. Well, now when you there for the next 3 hours, you still sobbing, like your whole face is wrinkled because you done cried so much. Fucking look like you've been in a bathtub for the last 3 hours. Like, it's too much, man. It's too much. What am I supposed to do with this? How are you helping the scenario? You're not. You expect me to have answers, and I clearly don't. We need to be working on this together. Now I'm effectively working on it by myself. So why do I need you? It's like, what? If I'm gonna be working on things by myself because you can't control or deal with things in a way that are beneficial for both of us and yourself included, what's my purpose? Like, what is your purpose? What do I?
Well, so a lot of times that's with stuff outside the home or financial stuff. I feel like a lot of men forget that mental load is on the women for the house shit too. Like, think about it. A woman, or at least in my case, like, I don't know, a traditional woman is at home taking care of the kids, making sure that the household is running, making sure so she has her first mental load is that she has to worry about the kids, right? She has to make sure that they're fed, she has to make sure they have clothes, she has to make sure if they're diaper age they have diapers, they have wipes, all of the essentials are here, or arrangements have been made to get more, or everything that everybody needs is here, right? Like, even if you provide the financial side of that, you don't go shopping, right?
Not usually.
Majority of the time,
I said not usually.
like 99.9% 75% of the time, I'm the one who makes the grocery list, does the shopping, or, even if I do a pickup order, does the shopping, make sure that all of the essentials are in the house, make sure we don't run out of anything, takes care of the kids and their mental, physical, emotional well-being. And that can be really exhausting. Like, there's some days where the girls are just like this all day. Just all day. And it's just like, okay, back up. I am touched out. I am mentally overloaded. Stop it. Stop it right now. I love you. I love you so freaking much. Stop touching me.
So you're the only thing they see at that point.
Yes, I understand that. Go touch each other. You see each other? Go touch each other.
Drink on that.
I'm just saying that, like, the mental loads are different, but I still understand, it's a different set of problems, right?
While you thinking about all of that shit, I'm thinking about one thing usually, and how to get it done, right? So then, as I'm thinking about this one thing, I got you coming over here with these 33 other things, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why? Why are you destroying my brain with this? Why?
Because I have 87 things in my brain at all friggin' times. All the time. I've got at least 92 tabs open. Okay? And each of those tabs has to be mentally filed away because it's something that I have to deal with. I don't have a choice. It has to be dealt with. But it's just what order I deal with it in.
Okay.
And then okay, so not all of those tabs have to be dealt with. Some of them are just random girl tabs, let's be really honest.
Yeah, but I get all of it. Doesn't matter what it is. Now, what order I get it in, who knows? Or when it randomly pops up, who knows? But eventually, I'm getting all of it.
Like the Michelle Obama running for president.
Yeah, I'm gonna retain about 4% of what you're telling me, because I have to. It's more beneficial for me to filter it out and not know what you're talking about later.
Oh, which drives me up a wall.
I can't think about what you're thinking about. Like,
there's sometimes that I'll come to you and be like, we had this conversation. Do you remember this? Like, and I'll be talking about something about the girls or something about any of the 4 girls. And I'm just like, we talked about it. I told you we needed to do it. I told you we needed to deal with it. But then at the same time, if you tell me we need to deal with something and I forget it,
I tell you
it's a problem.
One thing though. You tell me like 73 different things. What?
Because each of those 73 things needs to be dealt with.
Okay, but if I'm telling you one, this is a giant disparity.
But I've got the 73. Do you understand the problem?
Get 73 things out of your head.
I can't get 73 things out of my head because you're only dealing with one.
You better start putting up some drywall or something in your head.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works. If I only dealt with one thing, then nothing would get done.
One thing at a time, okay? And if I can't, look, I'll do one thing at a time. And if I have no solution for that one thing, oh look, that one thing is gone and I'm on to the next thing.
Okay, I think I've got ADHD because I can't do that shit.
Look, I mean,
I'm so serious. I cannot do that shit. I cannot focus on one thing at a time.
Once I get a solution for that one thing that I didn't have a solution for, oh look, now it comes back. All right, now we can deal with that.
I think the perfect example of this is me walking through the house trying to clean something. Okay?
Probably. Yeah.
Because if I walk in through the house, right? Like earlier, I came in the kitchen. My intention was to chop up the cucumbers and lemons and limes to put in the water so that I could infuse the water. Okay. But then I saw that there were dishes in the sink. Alright. There's dishes in the sink. I gotta get the dishes done. But then I see that there's trash on the counter. So I've got to deal with this trash that's on the counter. Yes. What?
I'm trying.
You're trying to what? What is your issue?
I'm trying.
What is your issue? Don't. We are on video. Stop it. So there's trash on the counter. So then I get to the trash can and there's trash on the floor. So then I deal with the trash that's on the floor. But then I see something else that's on the floor across the room. So I go to deal with that. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm over here. I'm going to pick up the toys. So then I started to pick up the toys. But then I see a random piece of laundry. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to go take the laundry in the laundry room. So then I take the laundry in the laundry room. And I'm like, oh, the new soap is still in the kitchen. So then I go to the kitchen. And I'm like, oh, I was going to do dishes. Like, this is the perfect example. Because all of these things are in my arena.
Okay, but men usually can't think like that. Like, I mean, it's too stressful.
Which leaves women to not have the choice but to do it.
You don't have no choice.
I mean, I do have no choice because I can't be so singularly minded.
Your list that you like to make.
You want to throw my list in my face right now? That's what we're doing.
I thought that was the purpose, right? So you know what you had to do.
Okay, but I can't always keep a list.
You got lots of pencils and lots of paper and markers and shit, like color pencils.
Yes, but if I always half the time I lose the fucking list. Okay, and if I always kept a list,
I would like sticky notes.
I would constantly have 18 lists going.
We could get you little football sticky notes.
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
I would constantly have 18 lists going for different categories. And sometimes that's overwhelming because then I don't know where to start. I don't know what category to start on.
You could place a number 1 on it, or a number 2, or number 3.
Yeah, well, I've never been that person that's been very good at the whole prioritization situation.
That's what the numbers are for.
And I get that. But then I have to decide, okay, which one's the most important. And then I get mad. Right? Because now I feel like I'm forcing myself to do something. And fuck that. I don't want to be forced to do something. Unless somebody else is forcing me to do it.
Well, see,
which is a whole other category.
This is where the women talking about, you don't listen to me? Well, I listen. I hear you. I just don't remember later. It's different, right? So...
But then it feels like you don't listen because you don't remember it.
I don't remember because you told me everything. You told me everything.
And you were supposed to retain it.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. You are... If I tell you this and this and this is going on, I need you to know. If I didn't need you to know, I wouldn't tell you.
No. Look, you get listened to because it's my job to listen to you. Now, I know that you're going to remember everything that you told me, right? So then when time comes to tell me again, you'll be able to tell me.
Time comes to tell you again. I want to tell you once. You expect me to know if you tell me once.
Because I only tell you one thing. Again, like it's one thing. Usually, one thing at a time. Oh, look, there's one thing. And then 6 months later, there's another thing. Look. Oh, look.
6 months later, that's the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, let's be more realistic. A month later, right? A month later.
2 days later.
No, a month later, there's another thing that I told you.
Okay, but then if you forget the thing, like the electric bill, right?
Okay.
If I need to tell you about the electric bill, the internet bill...
You can't bring bills into this.
But I can.
But you can't.
But you still forget these things.
Because they move around all the time. They adjust all the time. You be paying on them slightly here and there all the time, so I don't ever know what they are. Regardless, even if you told me what they were 3 days ago, it could be different in 3 days in the future, right?
Because
So
that's what works for us.
again, so that's why I say you can't bring bills into this, because even if you did tell me a set number, I still don't know what it is.
Okay, but that's why I don't usually tell you a set number. I usually just say, hey, we have to pay this by this date.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna remember that. 'Cause it doesn't matter. Like what?
It does matter.
No, it doesn't, because regardless, it needs to be paid, and I know that. I don't care about the date. I know it needs to be paid, and you're gonna tell me whenever it needs to be paid. So now we pay it, or we figure out how to pay it, or whatever needs to happen. But like to tell me the date, it's just me listening because I have to listen to you. Like I have to listen to what you say.
So basically, you were saying that the biggest difference between men and women is that women have a gigantic mental load and men focus on one fucking thing.
I bet you wish you could focus on one thing, don't you?
I do.
No, you don't.
I do so much.
You just said.
I wish that I had the ability to shut my brain down for 10 minutes and focus on just one thing.
So you jealous is what you said?
I'm so jealous.
Don't be mad because you jealous.
I'm so jealous. I wish that I had that ability. I think I'm hardwired to
That's not the biggest difference either.
focus on all of these things to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. And at the end of the day, it's not even for us. I want to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible for the children.
They don't care about anything except snacks. What do you mean?
Okay, but that's part of my mental load. Who do you think brings the snacks in the house?
Oh, they don't care about even the snacks. All they want to do is chew on bottles and boxes and
No, they want to eat.
whatever. Well, yeah, too.
They want to eat.
They want to eat everything. But
Okay, and who do you think is responsible for bringing that food in the house?
it's not both of us are. In whatever capacity that is, but it's...
Who do you think actually has to physically bring the food in the house?
Both of us. Sometimes I go to the car and get the food.
Ooh.
You said physically bring it into the house. That's what you said.
Physically go
And
retrieve it from the world.
Sometimes I meet you at the door, right?
Oh.
On the porch.
Yeah, because I call you and I'm like, hey.
That's not you bringing it in the house. It's you bringing it to the doorstep.
Really? This is how you're going to play this? On a technicality?
This is what you said. This is argument is based on what you said, not me.
Oh, you're going to play this on a technicality.
Cases have been won on technicalities all the time.
Whom actually has to go out into the world and budget out what we can get, how we can get it, where to get it from because it's the best price and or has the best sale and or gets us the most reward points and or...
That's because you do all of that shit. That's something
I do all of that shit because this goes back to the hustle.
You know, okay, but you do all of it because you enjoy it. All of that savings and shit and the rewards and all of that.
That's not just because I enjoy it. That's because it saves our asses.
It does. But this is just something that you do. Okay? On a personal level, I would just go grab some shit. Like, I would never even think about the things that you think about. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It just is what it is. I wouldn't do it.
You would just go grab some shit, and then when it came time for us to have that extra $5-10 later in the future, we wouldn't have it.
Probably not. But I'd go find some more.
Right, but now when we go find some more, we can use it on something different because we have that $5-10 in it.
What you're saying is not a bad thing. It's just a difference, right? It's just different. This is something that you do. And I allow you to do it because, first of all, you enjoy doing it. And second, it does help. But for me, on my side, I wouldn't ever do it. I'm not finna be doing all of that shit.
And it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts.
I'm gonna just go do whatever I'm doing, and then I'm done now.
Like, I find out you went to McDonald's and you spent money when I could have saved you 25% with a freaking code. Like,
I don't care about that 25%. I just want to get done what I want to get done.
I care about that 25%.
Okay, well, that's not the biggest difference. It's the thinking, as far as that, but it's a big thing.
And what do you think the biggest difference is then?
Just wired for different things, you know. So we just have our needs are so different generally. Uh, like if you think about what our basic wants and needs are, they're completely different. But there's only a few little things that bring us together, like sex and companionship and sometimes kids. Like that's it. Now those are just only three things. You think about the rest of what you want, the rest of what women want, what men want, and what their basic needs are. There's so much more that separate us than not. But I mean, there is that also that just general connection with women, right? Or you know, with that women have with men and men have with women. Just that general attraction, but everything's just so much more. So like, okay, if I was by myself, uh, there wouldn't be as much shit in this house. It just wouldn't be. Like there's no need for it. You know, like that. There's, you know, some of the shit that you have. Granted, it does help and it is a benefit. I just wouldn't. There would be no need. It was, you know, for what?
Like what?
The chopper.
That thing is amazing. I don't want to hear
It
you
is.
say
I'm not saying it's bad. It's great. But I would never buy it. I have a knife, right? I have a knife. What do I need a chopper for? There's no reason. But you want it because of whatever reasons that you want it. Yes, you have knives, but you want a chopper. You see what I mean? There's nothing.
I wanted a chopper because every week I was spending hours chopping up vegetables to put in your potato stuff that I had sent with you, and the shit got on my nerves. But I still wanted to make you shit, so I would rather spend 5 minutes putting stuff in the chopper than 30 years chopping it by hand.
I understand that, but I still would have never done it. Like I would have never did it, right? Like there's things that you would never even think of doing, like buying random car parts that you don't need, right? You would never think about doing it. But me, I'm thinking about what the truck needs and how it needs to be upgraded. You see what I mean? So, like, on a most women are not thinking about those types of things. They're only thinking about how do I keep this car running, right? Like, does it need gas? Does it need oil? And does it have brakes? And it's probably not even that. It's just, oh shit, something doesn't sound right. That's it. And as men, we're like, okay, but what doesn't sound right?
Speaking of
the thing. What? What? The thing under there, it doesn't sound right. Okay, crazy lady.
Speaking of which, I need you to check my transmission fluid.
Okay. You know, it's just certain things that we both have, that men and women have, that a lot of differences that we would have never even conceived of thinking about.
All right. I'm listening. Give me other examples.
A million pillows on bed.
You love the pillows.
I'm not saying I don't. But how many pillows did I have in the truck when you first met me?
Oh, it was so annoying.
Okay.
How could you bring somebody into something like that? You had like one pillow. One.
Because there's only one me.
All you had was the Oogie Boogie pillow, and then you were over here using blankets and shit as extra pillows. What the fuck is this? And now that I've been around you long enough, I find myself using blankets and shit as pillows because it's comfortable. But then I've got 8 trillion pillows because I girlify everything because I'm a girl. But
You see my point?
okay, all right. All right, 8 million pillows on the bed. What else? Come on. I'm listening.
What's that thing in the bathroom that burns wax and makes it smell all girly? What's that thing?
My wax warmer.
You get that shit? For what? Like, you got maybe an incense you can burn in there or whatever. And sometimes not even that.
Do you like it?
I'm not saying I don't like it. That's not the point. The point is, most men would not even conceive of thinking of about, oh shit, I need a wax warmer for the bathroom.
Can you appreciate it?
I can appreciate it.
Okay.
But I'm not.
It wouldn't be in the bathroom if we didn't have young children.
That's still not the purpose. The purpose is something that men most likely would never consider.
It would be out here if I could trust the kids to not break it.
It doesn't matter where it's at. We're not thinking about wax warmers usually.
Okay, all right. All right, what else?
I don't know.
You said a lot less stuff. Like, I just have all of this extraneous belongings.
Your job is to collect. My job is to provide. This is our function. Okay. Think about this. Your job is to collect for the future because you're more than likely gonna live longer than me. The likelihood of you dying before me is slim. Okay. Just because you're a female, that's just facts right there. So now, what do you have to have? You have to have a bunch of shit for you to be able to survive, right? For you to be able to do things that you need in the future after I'm gone. So you need to be able to survive and like have things in place for you. My job is also to provide that. My job is to provide for the family and give you the means of survival. It's just our function. It just is what it is. Why do you think women usually look for stronger men? Why do you think women usually look for successful, stronger men, or at least determined? They don't even have to be successful, just determined, or men that have a plan. They don't even necessarily have to be doing anything. They just need to have some type of direction. Usually.
Yeah, because some women go for men who have no direction, have no plan, have no car, have no job,
nothing.
have...
Just professional homeless.
Oh, super professional homeless.
But
Dress like it, too.
this is what I'm saying, in general, this is what women usually do. It makes sense. Why would you not? Because whatever male that you're going to get with is going to try and provide for you, usually, right? And he's going to try and provide for his kids and give you the things that you need, which is usually a home and the things in it. So when he dies, you still have those things, and the kids still have those things. So we're not doing anything really for us. We're kind of just preparing you for us dying is what's happening.
That's a really fucked up way to put it, but okay.
I mean, think about it. It's not... I mean, what... If you go based off a man...
Okay, but...
like a male-female relationship, she's at home. Like, your ideal, you're at home taking care of the house, kids, whatever. I'm at work, come home. You are in the house. This is more your house than it is mine. Because I'm gone most of the time. So this is yours. It's not really my house. I'm kind of the random person that comes and sleeps on the bed instead of the couch. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it's just...
But really, the way that we have things going right now, we're both here pretty much equivalently. So, realistically,
Well, man,
at least right now...
I still open cabinets looking for plates and cups and shit. Okay?
The plates and cups have been in the same cabinet since we moved into this fucking house.
The point being is you have been in here, actually physically in here, longer than I have.
Because you had a job that took you over the road.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing or saying like it's not. It just is what it is.
I don't like it.
You don't have to like it. It still is. It doesn't change the facts. Like generally what men know about their house is where their shit is.
It occurs to me that you don't have a lot of shit in this house.
Not very many men do. Women come in the house and take over everything.
First of all, let's
and especially if you have daughters, it's even more.
Let's establish that there are a total of 6 people that are in and out of this house.
And all of them are girls.
5 of them are girls. And 3 of them are here all the time. And then 4 of them are here a majority of the time. And then the
women come through and take over everything.
Okay. But hear me out. You could have more things in here, but you elect, when you have the opportunity to get things, you elect to put them outside on vehicles.
I tend to just spend my money on either car shit or bigger things, right? So like the little trucks, my shoes, soundbar, TV type shit. This is usually what I spend my money on. If I have extra money to spend on random shit. Or phones or something like that.
If I have extra money to spend on random shit, I spend it on the kids.
Okay. So where did all this other random girl shit come from, woman? Where did it come from?
What random girl shit?
It just appeared.
Okay, I got my chopper. Like, that's the only thing that I really spent
Look behind you. Look behind
extra money on.
You see that stocking right there?
Yeah.
Where just random girl shit, right?
I've had that since I was a kid.
Okay, it was still random girl shit, isn't it?
But I've had it since I was a kid. Like, that's my stocking from when I was like 12.
Silky and it has, what is that, rhinestones?
It's from when I was a child.
Still random girl shit.
Okay.
Okay. Oh look, there's a koala pillow on the floor.
That's the girls.
Still random girl shit.
They're girls.
You're proving my point. Women come in and take over everything. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Alright. You have stuff in here.
I'm not saying I don't. But the majority of it is not mine. It's like I was saying earlier. You got to look around this place to figure out, like, oh shit, there might be a man that lives here. Like my fishing pole. You got to look for that. Like you don't just readily see that.
You had shoes by the door. And on the shelf.
Okay, but if I wasn't here, my boots would be gone. And maybe you just like collecting shoes.
Men's shoes?
You like men's shoes?
I mean, I do wear men's shoes because I have giant feet, but...
So?
Your little trucks? Those are clearly displayed.
Those could equally be a female's. What else in here screams there might be a male that lives here? You gotta look for it, you see what I mean? It just is, man. Like, just not... Like, you go talk to any man that's been married to, or not married, didn't even have to be married, just with a female for any significant amount of time. Most of his shit is in a garage, or in some kind of shed or something, or is stuffed in some type of room that nobody could ever see or access. It just is. Now, granted, this is what we're designed for. This is what you're designed for, to make this house a home. That's what you're supposed to do. This is your girl. This is your DNA. But that doesn't mean that, like, some women will give you that, right? It's not really yours. It's not really. Uh, but like stepping stones, really. That's like in a compared to a woman's life, men are stepping stones.
Okay. Yeah, that's where we're gonna end this conversation because I'm not.
Just think about the reality of the situation. Regardless if you like it or don't like it.
Ooh, excuse me.
Caveman, okay? Caveman's probably gonna get eaten by a fucking dinosaur or something. And oh look, the cave woman's like, oh shit, we gotta find somebody else to get us food now. Baby's like, oh damn, it's bad. Then there's another person, right?
Because women are built on survival.
Huh?
Women are built on survival.
I'm not saying that,
And have traditionally had to depend on the stronger male to help them survive.
that's my point. The stronger male usually goes out and does shit that's probably gonna get him killed.
Okay, well, then the stronger male has to accept that he will have a replacement when he gets killed.
We know that. It's just that doesn't make it suck any fucking less. Like, just
Then stop doing dumb shit.
okay. The dumb shit is what gets you paid. This is the crazy part, right? Like, I think most of the most dangerous jobs in the world pay so much.
Risk and reward, understood. but,
Yeah,
like,
so like, and you think about now, financial situation now in the world, you gotta have some money. $15 an hour, $17 an hour, ain't nothing. You need to be making at least $25 an hour to be self-sustained by yourself, and that's not even with a family. So like, what?
Okay, but you're not a stepping stone, so shut up. I don't like it. It's meh.
Okay, we could call it something prettier, like.
I don't give a shit how pretty you make it. It's not. It makes it sound like you're an insignificant part of any of our lives. And that's not okay.
I didn't say. I'm not saying that.
That's the part that I have a problem with. You saying, "Oh well, I'm just a stepping stone." That makes it sound like the girls are just gonna be like, "Okay, daddy's gone, whatever."
No, I'm not saying it's not gonna hurt. I'm not saying it's not gonna be emotional and terrible and whatever else that it is. But regardless, you're still gonna need to adjust after that. You're still gonna need to make a move. You're still gonna search for the things that you're
Okay,
gonna.
well, I'm hoping that you survive long enough for me to be old enough to not give a fuck more. Damn it.
Okay. Uh.
That's your one job right now. Survive long enough that I'm old and don't fucking want anybody else.
It's like, what? About to be 39, you see?
Yeah. You are, not me.
I got about another 25, maybe 30 years left. Maybe if I'm lucky.
That's perfect.
So.
I won't give a fuck by then.
Yeah, right. You're gonna.
You're like 65. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to deal with anybody new at that point.
You didn't want to deal with anybody the
You'll be
way.
old and crotchety.
You're gonna search for the same things that you've always searched for. It's not gonna change.
No, I'm gonna be old and crotchety. I don't want to deal with anybody at that point.
Okay.
Old and crotchety.
Well.
You just gotta make sure I get there. Good job. The difference is the last time I was widowed, I was fucking 32. Still had a lot of living left to do.
Your instincts don't change. even if you don't want to deal with somebody, there's gonna be that something in you that wants some companionship.
I will move in with our children.
That will be funny.
Why would that be funny?
Cause they weird.
At least one of them will want to live with me, right?
Maybe.
We've got enough of them. At least one of them should be able to take care of me at that point.
I guess.
You know, okay. This is a whole separate situation, but if you had to pick one of our children to take care of you, which one would it be? Which is, it's hard to answer right now, just because the girls are only one. But, like, still. Based off of what you know.
I couldn't answer that right now. I couldn't answer that until they're at least, all of them are at least 20. Like 20, 25.
Okay, no, you have to answer right now.
I couldn't. There's
You
no
have to pick
possible
one.
way that I could.
Pick one.
Yeah, the twins is only one. Grace Baby's 11. Like, what was?
Yeah, so based on their personalities right now, pick one.
This has to be one?
Well, yeah, assuming they're all living separately.
I don't have to pick one. All of them will take care of me.
And you have to go live with one.
No.
No.
No. I'm not doing it.
You're not going to live with one of your children?
No.
Why?
There's no way in hell I could do it.
But why?
Okay. Because I'm dad, right? They're probably gonna have at some point some type of boyfriend. There's no fucking way I'm listening to that shit. Okay? It's not happening. It's not.
So basically, you won't live with any of our children because you know that they're gonna have sex.
Yeah, or anything else. Like I'm not gonna tolerate somebody like being disrespectful or yelling at my baby. Like I can't. I couldn't handle it. So especially the sex part. There's no way I'm listening to that, man. I'm not doing it.
Okay, what if you didn't have a choice? And
I got a choice.
okay, so eliminate the boyfriend factor. Say they don't have a boyfriend.
Then there's a boyfriend coming, and I'm not listening to that shit. So no, I don't want to have to move my shit again. No.
Okay.
If one of them was a nun, man, okay, then we can do this.
A nun. Okay. I don't think any of our children are going to be nuns. I mean, I really, based on their personalities right now, I would say I'm not living with any of them either. And it's to me, it's not about the sex thing, and it's not even about the disrespect thing. Like, I don't think any girl wants to live with her mom.
I'm not listening to that shit. I'll burn this whole motherfucker down. I'm not doing it. Oh no, fire alarm.
Oh no. All right. On that note, this has been our random conversation of men versus women. Yeah, we will. I don't have a topic for next time yet, but we'll figure it out and we'll be back. See See you guys later. Bye.